Hi, my name's Jen. Welcome to my channel, All of My Plants. Today we're going to just check in on some plants. I think I was supposed to be repotting. Trust me, that's coming. There's no end to the repotting. But I've got plants that are doing things. Some good, some not so good. But we're going to look. We're going to check them out. So the first one I'm going to talk about is this Philodendron Florida Beauty. And you might already know what I'm getting ready to say just by looking at it. But so this is the parent plant to the one that I most recently got. Well, actually, I most recently got this one, but previously. This is the parent plant to my cutting. I cut it from right there. And she gave me the plant here a few months later, this plant. So, and it's doing okay. I mean, this was the most recent leaf. This leaf came out in my care. It's gorgeous. This one was in her care, or when she bought it, had that leaf, I guess. And then she said her cat ate or chewed off the bottom of that one. It happens. If you have pets, you know, tails and cats. But this is the most recent leaf. That is not green. There is no green on that leaf. That is all that yellow variegation that Florida Beauties have. And that has also become all yellow where it's growing from. You can see this leaf here came from the yellow side. Of that stem, and now we've gone all yellow. So I'm going to cut that all the way down, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's not ideal. So it's pretty, don't get me wrong, that's lovely, but it's just not ideal. And I don't think there's much point in waiting to see what the next leaf does. I mean, we might, because we're right here. It'll be maybe a few days. But yeah, that's not what anybody wants with their Florida Beauty. But yeah, I like that plant. I think it has as many leaves as the cutting does now. So, and I don't think it's lost any since it's been here. It's just kind of that plant. So, yeah, pardon the mess on the desk. I've got 15 different things going on, none of them completed. But we're going to talk about a couple plants in this cabinet. Because some of them are doing things and some of them are not. Okay, so this is the begonia looking glass that I just got, which, not that you can see it, let me sit right in the floor with it. How about that? Look at Meatball. Can I sit too? Okay, so I've had this, what's today's date? Today is the 26th, and I think I got it maybe the 10th of January or something, so we're going to say it's been here 2 weeks, but this leaf was coming. This leaf is coming now, and then underneath there we go. This is one plant, and then this is another little plant. They weren't there at all when I picked this up, so wow. A fast grower. Maybe all begonias are fast, and I've just forgotten. I really wish I could show you that sparkle, because it really just looks like very sparkly silver. But all we're getting is gray. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, I'm impressed with that. And I've got this on the bottom. That's Jade Syndapsis, Jade Satin Syndapsis or something like that. It's on the bottom, so it's pretty far away from the light. But I still think it's getting too much light. You can see it's kind of, just looks a little washed out, a little bit bleached. Whereas it should really be much darker. I don't know. Are we showing that in good comparison there? But yeah, so I've got to move this guy out of here too. Just somewhere where there's slightly lower light, because I want him to be the darkest he can be. It's pretty though. I mean, it's healthy. It's growing fine. I just really want those much darker green leaves without the yellow streaking, splotching, etc. But I mean, it's been a good plant. I've had that a couple months, I guess. There's three of these around now. One's on a pole. It's not grabbing yet. Not doing much. I mean, it's growing, but it's just not grabbing onto the pole. And then I have another little pot of it somewhere. I don't know. It's a little smaller than this one, maybe. But we're going to dig back here and talk about this guy. I keep seeing the tag for this plant everywhere but in this plant. And you know, now that I have this plant right here in front of me, I have no idea where the tag is. I mean, isn't that right? Isn't that how it goes? This is Monstera lechleriana. And it had a lot of white on it when I got it. So I knew the risk. And here we go. Another all white leaf is what it's giving me now. And then these were the areas that had high variegation or a lot of white, a high amount of white. So they're just kind of crisping. I'm getting ready to pull this out of here and chop between every single node. I'm probably going to lose leaves because they're just that close. It's very tight in there. Yeah, real tight. But it's fine. It's a Monstera, so I think they're pretty tough. And they grow well even just from node. Whether they have roots or not, it doesn't seem to matter. They just grow. Hopefully this is the same as the experience I've had with the rest of it. And then that one there is growing like a weed. The Clarinervian that I said I thought had some sort of issue because of those spots. It could have just been damage. It could be where water set on it. It could have been anything. But I've treated it and treated it, and I keep treating it. And it seems fine. So maybe I'll pull back a little bit on the treating it. Because previously, whether I was watering that or not, I was spraying those leaves with some sort of, fungicide or pesticide or all of the above. But I think I'm going to chill a little bit now. I'll move that later. I'll stick it right back in there for now. Those guys are all fine. Not too much to say about them. They're growing. This one here, it's a cup that's just been sitting up there in that little bin. That's really unimpressive, right? The top of this was rotted. This is, or was, that variegated Alocasia Frydek that I had. Like I said, the top portion rotted. I scraped some of the perlite there off. Yeah, we're not doing any roots or anything yet either. But the rest of it is firm, so I've just kind of exposed more of the corm there at the very, very top. And I'm letting it get a bit more dry. But yeah, the rot has stopped. And it's like I said, it's firm in there, but it's not really grabbing like it's rooted. So I'm just waiting longer. I am terrified of it. So no touch. I try to leave it be. Just let it live under the light. Maybe someday it'll grow, or maybe not. Time will tell. Okay. Then up there, I don't think I've talked about this one at all. That's a Carnosa compacta, Hoya compacta. I did have a hanging basket of that. That is what's left, because if you can think of any plant on the planet you don't want mealybugs on, that's it. Because it's really hard to get them out of all those little nooks and crannies and curves and curls. And so I figured I'd focus on one section. And it does actually have new growth. Let me see if I can find it. You can just see some in there that's darker green. Maybe you can. Kind of on the left side of the stem. It's really hard to show it, but it's just darker green. It did have baby leaves. I guess those are the baby leaves. They've just adulted. But yeah, that one right there, kind of center of screen, that's new. So, and I don't see any more mealies anywhere, or even evidence of them. I'm constantly checking nooks and crannies on this thing. But yeah, hard to get off. So preventative maintenance is your friend if you have one of those. Oof. Otherwise you might not have it. Okay. This guy's okay. It doesn't really grow. So I've tried putting it in here. I'm not sure if the heat's better or worse for this plant. This is Caudata Gold, I believe. Real pretty. I like it. It has this lovely, vine that it has put out, this tendril, whatever you'd call it. And I do see where leaves might grow if I don't make it too angry. Time will tell. I don't think this plant has put out a leaf the whole time I've had it, and I've had it since last summer, last spring. I'm not sure. I got it in a trade, but yeah, it's still alive. It's just not. It doesn't love me apparently. Jacqueline, nothing new going on with that. Nicholsonian New Guinea Ghost, nothing going on with that one. That guy there is an offset from the Philodendron McDowell. I didn't intend to separate it from the main plant, but when I was repotting, I realized, oh, that's not attached. So I just went ahead and potted it up by itself. No indication of which direction it's going to crawl yet. Got a new leaf coming. So cute. Yeah, but it's still kind of just growing more upright. It's still pretty juvenile, so yeah. I think that's most of the stuff in there that I was going to talk about. There's a few more around. Let's see. Philodendron, Campii, or Linnet. It's still being treated for spider mites. I don't actually see anything on it, but I'm just going to continue to treat it every couple days until I'm fairly certain that the worst is behind us. Because they did a number on it already. Freaking spider mites, man. So, right here is a Cebu Blue, Epiprinum Cebu Blue. And I need to repot it. I just repotted it, but I need to repot it again because I put it on this pole, this cocoa husk, whatever it is, pole. And while it has just kind of run right up it, it is also going back more juvenile. I think it really needs or it would really appreciate, for me anyway, like an actual moss pole. Because we're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I knew better. I knew better when I did it. I was just in a hurry. That's what I had. Once again, I was being lazy and didn't want to make a moss pole. And now I'm paying for my choices. So, and half of it is just sprawling. Like there's probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 plants in that. I still have the 2 in hanging baskets. I just keep propagating them as they get too long. But I like to keep one on a pole also, and I like to keep it mature if I can. Or more mature, you know. I guess it's not perfectly mature. Certainly not, but it is pretty, and I do like it. I do like it. So, yeah. I need to propagate it also because it's going to be off the top of this pole. That and, I don't know, I just think it's easier to start with a shorter plant on a pole instead of trying to, you know, force what's already there when it's long like that onto a pole. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I love that plant. I really do. I really like it. It's pretty. I've had Cebu Blue in my collection for probably 6 years now, 5 or 6 years, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but yeah, I love it. And then up here is the newest Thai constellation. Ooh, that's heavier than I was expecting. I must have just watered it. But yeah, very pretty. It's finally giving me a new leaf. Well, I say finally. It's only been here 2 weeks. Not even. But yeah, that one's going to be fenestrated. So, and it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of that blocky variegation. It looks more like it'll just be speckly, and that's fine with me. It's easier to maintain that than it is big chunks of, you know, white or cream or whatever you'd call that. But anyway, very happy with it. Yay, doing well. Haven't killed it. And then I'm going to pull that one down because I want to talk about that one too. It has some issues. Okay, so this plant I think is a cross between like Philodendron Narrow or Jungle Boogie or something like that. I think I bought it as Florida Beauty? No, Florida Jungle Beauty. That's it. Philodendron Jungle Beauty. Why is that so hard? Words are hard. Head empty, no thought also. So it doesn't look too bad from here to me through the viewfinder. Looks okay. And I love this plant. I don't care what issues it has. I'm going to work with it. But there we go. As I get closer, that just looks like rust to me. Those orange spots. Rust or I don't know. I find that the narrows I've had, tiger tooth, jungle boogie, they do seem prone to whatever this is. But I think this plant is a cross between one of those, like the jungle boogie or whatever, and Philodendron giganteum. And what I'm saying is, why do I keep doing this to myself with plants that are going to be massive? I know this plant as Philodendron, is it Snowdrift? Philodendron Blizzard? One of those, I can't remember. But anyway, this leaf is starting to change color now, but it come in very kind of peachy and white at the same time, like very close to this color you see here, which may or may not be showing accurately, but I love it. I do. It kind of does like a Florida Ghost thing. It comes in very white or light in color, and then it fades to much more green. That's a subhastatum leaf, not not this plant. So not that green, but that green. So I don't know. It's pretty. It is pretty. But yeah, I'm treating that with copper fungicide because I think that's what it is. But yeah, got a inflorescence trying to form down there. I don't know if we're focusing on that. But yeah, that pink bit. Pardon my dog, he's losing his mind. My husband's outside working. New leaf getting ready to come, and an offshoot. So that's cool. That's cool. And then down here, there's a couple on the struggle bus. Oh, this is the McDowell, the main plant that I repotted. I think this was just mechanical damage. It was there when I got it. Has not put out a new leaf for me yet, but it's thinking about it right down here somewhere. There. Right there. There we go. But yeah, it's okay. It's fine. But these guys, the Monstera aurea babies, well, they're not really as baby as they were. Look at this was the first leaf on this thing. Is that not ridiculous? From this mother leaf. But yeah, this one has lost its mother leaf already. But yeah, they're both doing good. They're both doing fine. This one's just put out a new leaf. I don't know if you can tell, but that's going to have a large chunk of yellow across there. And then it's just like a splashy, speckly variegation on the other side. Marbly, yeah. And this one's thinking about putting out a new leaf soon. I love that plant. I'm surprised this hasn't crisped off, because I keep forgetting to water it. This big chunk of yellow on this one. But yeah, love it. And I'll show you the one that rotted. Or, you know, the cuttings. I made a lot of cuttings of it, and some of them rotted. I mean, completely rotted. This is Planty, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong. We'll check out the stem there. I've killed several Planty. Or no, actually I killed the same one over and over and over. Actually, I think spider mites did. So I'm constantly staring at this plant. But this is a new leaf since I got it. Had this one probably a couple months now. Beautiful. Beautiful. At least a month, I'd say. I don't know. Doing good, though. So far. Knock on everything. And then bouncing back over to this side. Back here. That. Right there. That's the Amedrium medium silver that I said was going to run. I'll show you. I finally did put it on a pole. And I'm still afraid it's going to run because that just doesn't look like a normal growth point to me. But maybe with the next node we can get it back together. So it's not really grabbing or anything yet. I very, very recently put it on there. And I have a problem watering my poles in a timely manner. But, you know, hopefully that will help. We'll see. And my bird wants to scream just for the heck of screaming, so I had to close the door. This guy here, since we're looking at it, that's Philodendron, I think Florida Green. Just Philodendron Florida Green. And man, that's a nice plant. It's very well behaved. It needs a extension on that moss pole very, very soon. But I'm putting it off, as per usual. But yeah, it's pretty. There's another good leaf from it right there. Oh, so nice. There we go. Oh, it was sticky. Extra floral nectaries. The Mexicanum still up there chilling. Get ready to give us a nice new leaf. This leaf was already here when I got it. And then I put it on the pole and repotted it, and then it gave me this little guy. And then this little guy. And we'll see what that one does. I need to put more moss in the pole. I don't fill them to the top, mostly because why should I water all of this to get to here where it actually needs the moisture? That's one reason. And then the other reason is because they're just awkward and they like to fall over, they're top heavy. If I'm going to have to deal with all that, it's going to be because the plant has to have it. So that's why I don't, why I leave them kind of lower. But yeah, and back there, more of the not good. That's Philodendron 69686. And my cat has jumped all over it. So we have broken leaves, another broken leaf, which I've just left them dangling. I don't know why. I could cut them off. It's not like they're being very helpful just dangling there like that. But I just leave them because, I don't know, darn cat. This plant has been a problem since day one. It really has. It didn't have any problem shipping because it was shipped to me. I've heard that they are kind of fragile in shipping. It did fine shipping. So the seller must have been fantastic, on the ball when it comes to packaging up plants. I don't know. But, because it never missed a beat. But in the greenhouse, shortly after I potted it and got it on a pole, it just dropped every single leaf all the way down. And then we've got new leaves growing, but they're constantly... I don't know if this plant is prone to some sort of pest that I can't see. I definitely see pesty damage, though. There we go. Is it thrips? Is it spider mites? What is it? I don't know. At some point, I'm going to have to chop this up and node propagate it, and I don't really think it's going to be around after that. I don't know why. It's never grabbed into the pole, even in the greenhouse, which usually they do. You can see there's just no roots connecting it. Oh, there might be one right there. But, yeah, I don't know. I can't keep that plant looking good for more than 5 seconds. I really can't. It was giving me much larger leaves than this. Once upon a time, they were, as long as from my elbow to my fingertip. And these are just about as long as my hand. So, I don't know. I don't know. Cross your fingers for it. Maybe it'll be alright. Okay, you can kind of see it on the wall. That's the Philodendron atabacoense. And I love this plant. It was previously pretty pristine, but now we have damage from the cat jumping all over it. Not ideal. Damage from my husband setting it so it was actually touching the pellet stove downstairs. That was sad for me. Petioles that are just bent over the side of the pot. Once again, the cat. And it's still, like, this plant hasn't really lost a single leaf, I don't think. This is an old leaf. This is a new leaf. That's pretty. That's pretty. So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't get me wrong, I am bummed about the damage, because like I said, this plant was one of few that I have that looked really good, really pristine. But, it is what it is. Those are older leaves anyway. It's gonna be fine. As long as the cat doesn't jump on it and my husband stays away from it. This is the newer leaf. Every day it seems to be just a bit bigger, so it's very soft still. Not hardened off yet. I'm being very careful with it. I'm hoping it'll be alright. But look, party in the back. I always say that about plants with that red or purple or whatever on the back. It's just pretty. I really like it. I almost forgot that one right there that's right in front of that. That is the Aglaonema. Aglaonema? Yep. That I got covered in mealybugs. Yeah, I got that in Myrtle Beach. Oh, maybe beginning of November. And it just had mealybugs everywhere. so I repotted it into systemics. There's actually 3 plants in the pot. I got it from like a Lowe's, I think. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see evidence. Maybe you can. It's like white. There we go. That's even better. If we focus. There we go. But there's no active mealybugs. I've just done a terrible job cleaning this plant, so that's just remnants. But yeah, the plant's okay. I put it in systemic, and I put the other pieces of it in systemic as well. The missing leaves, the random petioles that are just sticking out, I think there's 2. Yeah, there's the other one is right there. They're this one's fault. Everything plant related is his fault, and he does not care. But yeah, other than the cat beating it up, it's actually doing quite well, and I really like this aglaonema. My daughter is quite taken with the color of it, it is pretty, to be honest. It's I don't know what this aglaonema is. I have no idea, if there's a name for this particular variety, but I do love it. I do. Sorry, I'm just still looking all over it and like trying to make sure I haven't missed any mealybugs because they make me paranoid. But I don't see any, so cool. That's the newest leaf there, and it's looking pretty good. So, they do love new growth. But yeah, so maybe that's a success story. I'm going to call it that, at least for now. Time will tell, I guess. And while I'm back here in the junk corner, that's the Alocasia Regal Shields, which it hasn't been too long since I talked about it. It's doing fine. Hasn't gone dormant. It even has new growth. It did flower. But yeah, it's a new leaf coming there. I say flower, it sent up a couple inflorescences. There was 2 in this pot. We repotted these on camera, I think in maybe October. But yeah, it's got some new little pups, offshoots, whatever, coming up down there. And a couple over here. And some back there. And that's fine. That's fine. It's not dormant. Yay. I say that because I have a tendency to let them go too long without water. And it seems like when I miss consistent watering, I have problems with alocasia. And it's my fault. It's not the plant. The backs. But yeah, it's doing good. Still here, still knocking around, still not dormant. It doesn't seem to be, a lot of people say, oh, it's the draft, it's the, whatever. It's missed watering, inconsistent watering, and spider mites, usually, that throw them into dormancy for me. Pardon my dog, she's having an issue over there. That down there, not that we're focusing, but that pot on the floor, there we go. That is Alocasia cuprea, and it has gone dormant. And once again, I think it's inconsistent watering and spider mites. Some other alocasia that aren't dormant yet. This one here, which it looks like it is thinking about it. It was pretty dry, my bad. That's Alocasia watsoniana. It did make a little puff under there though. Here we go. Yeah. Alocasia watsoniana. So that's pretty. It's very pretty. I really like this plant. Hopefully I can keep it from going dormant. This close to spring is why I don't want it to go dormant. It can have a head start. Those are just White Princess and Pink Princess back there. They're okay. They're fine. That guy back there, Philodendron bilietiae. This is the newest leaf. Looking pretty good. I mentioned that plant because I have root rotted that plant probably at least once a year for every year I've had it, and I've had it maybe 3 or 4 years now. I'm not sure. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I don't know why the power just went out. Let me get some light back on. Okay. As I was saying, new growth point. And I say that I rot that plant all the time. It is not because that plant is a sissy. It's not because that plant is picky. It's because it gets stuck somewhere and it dries out too fast, and I'm slow to repot things when I really, really need to. But it's not the plant's fault. But it bounces back like so fast, so hard and so fast you'll get whiplash. And that's why I say it's a good plant. It's a tough plant. It has taken all of my BS and didn't even bat an eye. So I'm not even showing the plant very well. I'm trying to avoid this tripartita, which it was on a 6-foot pole and it was probably about 2 foot off the top of the pole, so I cut it up and threw it in leca to propagate. This one here has new growth. Like, it's been beat up. We're missing part of our partita, the tripart, but yeah, it's okay. I haven't taken it out of there to check and see if it has roots yet, but that's on my to-do list. And then one other alocasia. Oh, if I can get down here before. Is this one. I'm terrified of this plant. This is alocasia stingray. Pardon my dog. My husband just got home. And it's a variegated one, stingray, because it's got a little tail. The little tails are so cute. But yeah, I hear that this one is quite a pain in the butt as far as alocasia go. So yeah, wish me luck. But it's so pretty. It is pretty. I'm constantly staring at them for spider mites right now. It's that time of year. I'm convinced spider mites are everywhere. That, and I've seen enough lately that I know that they exist. Pardon the floor, I haven't painted that yet. We'll get there. But yeah, so pretty. And while I'm down here, let's do a quick peek in the propagation bins. The bins of shame. Okay, so in this guy I have more Silver Hero. This is kind of everywhere. Gosh, it's noisy today. There's trucks going by. It's really nice out. Okay, I had to get up and close the door because my dog was barking at everything, nothing. He thinks they're things to bark at, so. Silver Hero, it's everywhere. They're doing good. There's 3. This is one, and this is one. The leaf doesn't look great on this one, but it does have a new growth point right there. That one has one right there. This one here, I'm not seeing it yet. I know it's kind of hard to tell through the green gunge, but I'm not seeing it. These guys are these were rotted, like very, very rotted. Monstera aurea. So what I did is I cut into the tissue pretty aggressively, as close to the node as I could. They had growth points while they were rotting. They were making nice growth points. But yeah, I cut into the tissue. You can see this one, I scraped it down pretty aggressively, right down to the fibrous bits, and that's mushy. That is mushy. Can you see it? I scraped it down till I found green, basically, and then I left it be. I just threw it in here and left it be. Did the same on this one. Sorry, jittery. This one's actually fairly firm. Not down here, but we have growing points, so I'm excited about that. And the roots also, the adventitious or aerial roots, whatever you call that, they were rotten also. So I cut some of them pretty far back, like right up next to the node. I cut them. Just because it's less yuck. So these have no roots of their own yet, but it's going to be okay if we can focus. Let's see. There we go. They have no roots of their own yet. They're still growing. They're a little bit bigger, it seems like, every time I open them. So this is just one on this one. But I'm just going to let them go like they are. I'm not worried that they're not going to be okay. Once I get a leaf, I'll probably take them out and put them into their own containers with maybe damp spag or something like that. I might cut even more of this node back, which it seems like there's not much, I know. And right now I'm not, because it's getting its moisture mostly from that node, not this perlite, because it's not very damp. It's actually quite dry, we're not focusing, there we go. But yeah, it's pretty dry. So yeah, I'll wait till we get a leaf. I'll cut the node back even more, and eventually it will root. They will. I know they look pretty sad right now, The top cutting is actually what's done best of that. Well, it's 2 top cuttings. They've done fine. I need to pot them up, but they're going to be huge, so I'll figure that out. There are still a couple leaf cuttings, and once again, they look like hell. Some of them are rotting, some of them are growing roots, but they all have growth points, so that one might actually put out a leaf in the next couple days. This one here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So they're okay. Then in these here, I don't even know what's in them. I know there's nothing in that one. Why it's still sitting there, I don't know. I can't remember what I had in there. I killed it apparently. Maybe it rotted. I don't know. Okay. More Silver Hero. Oh, there's an elbow node right there. I don't know what a lot of this is. I think this is Subpinata, Monstera Subpinata. This one might be Philodendron Camposportuanum. I'm not focusing great on anything today, I'm sorry. I think this is the same, Camposportuanum. I'm not sure. This little guy here, that teeny tiny leaf right there. I don't think that's Camposportuanum. I think that's either, who are you? Philodendron micans, or maybe, and I know it's very light color, but it's not been treated well. Or micans or melanoprism. Same with that guy right there. I don't know. Probably thinking, oh, that's pretty skinny if it's a melanoprism node. My melanoprism was skinny. Oh, good. More pink princess. And even more pink princess. Like the down there. Well, it looks like it's got 3 or 4 nodes popping off. Okay. And I don't know what a lot of the rest of this is. Ew, that's mushy. Out you go. This was Monstera Standoliana, I'm pretty sure. Ugh. That looks like that Monstera Subpinata. Once again, either micans or melanoprism. And it really was just the skinniest little vine. But there's a tiny little leaf on that. Can you see it? It's the most ridiculous little thing. We're not focusing great. That, again, either micans or melanoprism. I'm not sure. I don't know. Lots going on. Don't know what any of it is. Oh, I have a couple over here that I wanted to show you. Let me pop over there real quick. Actually, behind this Nabawinensis, which I'm just going to mention real quick. Sorry about the shaky camera work. This peduncle is doing a thing. Whether or not we're focusing, I don't know. The Pusilla Nabawinensis, I'm not sure. Pusilla? Something like that. It has peduncles. I forgot the word peduncle. It has peduncles kind of everywhere, but that's the only one I see doing anything. It did flower pretty good in the greenhouse. Pretty enthusiastically, actually. So, I don't know. But yay, I'll be happy to have one flower in January, or maybe February at this point. That's fine. Okay, these two. You can ignore the fuzzy petiole back there because that plant is being a jerk, as always. I was excited because it was putting out a new leaf not too long ago. It's got another one coming now. And that just shriveled and died. I think I'm going to chop that plant up and propagate the whole thing because I'm not happy with it. It looks like hell. But anyway, these two down here. This here is, well, it was labeled as Monstera Pitteri. Pitteri. And it looks a lot like, well, pretty much any Adansonii type. Similar to the thin one, the Frederiksthali, I think it's called, which I have that. I do have that Monstera, and I also have Laniata, and it's different. The leaves are lighter in color. They're very elongated. I don't know, and they seem to fenestrate super quickly and super easily. Does that make any sense? And this plant has been cut from a couple times. We can tell. But The reason I say it's supposed to be Patiri or was sold as Patiri is because I don't know, but I think Patiri is one that doesn't finish straight. Am I wrong? I know it's a smaller leaf Monstera, but yeah, I don't know. If somebody knows, please tell me. Who are you? I do kind of collect these. I have Obliqua expellata, which does not look like any kind of obliqua to me, but that's what it was labeled as. So it does look very just Adansonii. It looks like Laniata, the other one, the obliqua. I'll show you here in a second. And then this guy here, its neighbor. This is definitely a tissue culture plant. Can you see the party going on in this pot? If you had to guess, what would you think it is? It's Philodendron esmeraldens. So this was a wish list plant. I don't know that I wanted, 15 all stuck together, but I've got to sort that out very soon. It's on the to-do list with many, many other things. But yeah, wish me luck with that. I do really like this plant. So hopefully I can get it together and make it happy and separate at least a couple that'll survive off of this. Because like I said, this is tissue culture. Tissue culture. I cannot speak. But yeah, very pretty. I ran right past it earlier. That's the Monstera expellata there, which I said it looks just like Laniata. Does it not? Except for I don't remember to water it and bad things happen to it. But yeah, it's also a very slow grower. It's the slowest, like Adansonii looking or obliqua plant ever. It's very slow. I haven't gotten any runners off of it or anything, so that's kind of good, I guess. But it's the slowest grower on the planet. Alright, so that's going to do it for me today. Just kind of catching up on some things, looking at what's happening around here. There's, I'm sure, a ton more stuff happening or going downhill. Maybe even doing well that I haven't even realized is doing much better than usual. I don't know. There's a lot of plants around here. Speaking of a lot of plants, I got the okay to build a greenhouse. Woohoo! The current greenhouse I have is 10 by 12, and I think it's about maybe 12 foot tall at the peak. And that's cool. I love that greenhouse. I have used it and I have loved it well. But I'm going to build one myself, stick built, instead of a kit. That's a kit greenhouse that I have, and like I said, not knocking it at all. I just need a lot more space. I can't even fit every plant I own in there. I don't have enough room to hang half of the hanging baskets I have. So I'm thinking I'm going to build maybe 12 by 30 probably. I don't know. I still have to call zoning and planning and see what's, I don't know if I need a permit out here for that because I'm zoned agricultural, like agricultural residential. And I think where I'm out of any town limits or anything, you can build to a certain size, but you still have rules you have to follow, even without a permit or inspection. It has to be so many feet from the property line, so many feet from any kind of dwelling or other building. And definitely, if you're going to have it electric and water and whatever hooked up in there, you have to have that inspected. But I don't know. I still have to iron out the plan. So we'll see. But definitely building one, and I'm going to go as large as I can afford to go. And hopefully have it set up for year-round use, because I'm pretty tired of dragging plants in and out and in and out. I mean, there's some plants that I want in all the time. There's some plants that just don't ever need to come inside. They're fine outside even in lower temperatures, but just not as low as it gets here. Which, speaking of temperatures, last week it was like 23 for the high. Not last week, today's Friday. So earlier this week, there was snow on the ground. Today it's like 75 degrees outside. I'm wearing shorts and walking around outside. It's 80, probably 25 degrees in here. I'm sorry, 80 degrees in here. So, yeah, there we are in Celsius. Good humidity, though. I'll take it. And there we are in Fahrenheit. It's warm. It's very warm. I complain about the cold. I complain about the heat. I'm just a complainer. I'm a complainer. I'm sure the plants are loving this because I don't have to have the humidifier on or anything, and it's just warm and humid in here. So no dry heat in here, just heat. But yeah, so you got kind of a sneak peek at what we're doing in the next video, or more than likely. I'm not going to swear to anything because the best laid plans. I actually made 3 videos already this week for today. And here I am doing it again because it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I have even more to do than what I showed. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, and like my Syngonium podophyllum albo, it's on a 6-foot pole, and it's probably this tall, which is about as tall as I am. I'm 5'6", 5'7", depends on what police lineup I'm in. So I don't know. I'm going to cut it all down though, and it's not because it's reverted. Some of it is, and some of it is all white, but it's actually because the bottom of the pole has gotten kind of naked, about 1.5 feet or so up, like from the pot up. So I don't love that look. And I have one in there. You might have, I breezed past it, but you might have seen it. And I'm just going to try to get that going full again, because it was a nice full plant. Actually, somewhere there's a video of me ripping it off of a dowel. It actually attached to a dowel, like a wooden dowel that was probably 1 inch diameter. So I'm probably also going to have to rip it out of that moss pole. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's really grabbing that much, which is surprising to me. It grabbed to a wooden dowel much better than to that moss pole. Go figure. I'm having a heart attack. My legs hurt. But yeah, I guess that's going to do it for me today. I am going to go wander off and find something to get into. Still kind of early in the day. 1:56. Almost 2 o'clock. So, yeah. Oh, I have pawn I have to go pick up from the post office. They don't deliver my mail if it's a package that needs to come up to, like, the step. They don't do that because they hate my driveway, I guess. It's a kind of long driveway. It's on an S-curve. They just don't. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go to the post office. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye. Whew. I am just standing here trying to make a video. I'm not doing anything. Nothing. Just standing here. It's going up. 140. I feel like I'm going to die. And I'm exhausted.